Are you looking to buy a small acreage near Calgary, Alberta? Whether it be 2, 5, or even 10 acres, somewhere where you can have more space, chance to have some animals, a larger garden, or just live a more rural lifestyle, honestly, it's a dream for a lot of people. That is until the costs start piling up. Today, I'm going to talk about 10 of the biggest costs the new acreage buyers overlook that can make that acreage dream start becoming a burden. Stick around and let's go through those so you don't get caught by them. From driveway maintenance to more mileage on your vehicles, these costs can add up quickly, and honestly, number 6 is one that most people don't see coming. So stick around and find out what that one is later. Let's dive in. Number 1 is property taxes. Now, property taxes are inevitable no matter where you live, but on an acreage, they can tend to be a little bit more expensive than on homes in town. And that's surprising when it comes down to the number of services that you get from those taxes. And that's why I have it listed first on the list. In the city, there's a lot more of municipal amenities and costs that towns have to operate. The flip side is when you move rurally, there is less residents and the county is more spread out. So all of their costs get spread over fewer amount of people, leading to generally higher property taxes. Number 2 is utility costs. Most small acreages are not connected to a city water or sewer system. Instead, you're going to have a well or a cistern for your water and some form of a septic system to handle the waste products of your home. The cost to install these can be quite high, but the cost to maintain them can be equally surprising. If you have issues with your well pump, you're talking about thousands of dollars. We'll have pressure tanks that are on your well system that fail over time, and it is a necessary maintenance item as well. When it comes to your septic system, the cost of maintaining your septic field or mound is on you and not on the city. And so what that looks like can be routine maintenance of pumping out your septic tank, often every 2 to 3 years, or bigger costs like replacing the tank or redoing an entire field, which climbs into the tens of thousands of dollars. Number 3 is snow removal. Unlike the city where you have a small driveway that you can handle it with a hand shovel or even a push behind snowblower, the driveways on rural properties are much longer, and then being in the Alberta foothills, winters are harsh and it is not uncommon to see 6 to 8, maybe even 10 inches of snow overnight that you're going to have to clear in order to get to work or get your kids to school. A shovel is not going to do it for you. So you will need some form of equipment to plow that snow, whether it be an ATV with a blade or a small tractor, and those things cost money. If you don't want to buy the equipment, there is always snow clearing services, but again, that is costing you money every time it snows in the foothills. Number 4, driveway maintenance. Keeping on the topic of the longer driveways on rural properties, most of the driveways are going to be gravel, and gravel driveways are not a set it and forget it type of thing. You do have to maintain your driveway. You have to get rid of the ruts that are caused by the snow and water piling up. You may have to introduce new gravels after a few years in order to keep your driveway in good condition, and that stuff costs time and money and the equipment to do it. On top of that, even if you did have an asphalt driveway, which are very expensive to install, there is still maintenance on asphalt driveways, like sealing the driveway in order to keep that driveway in good condition and functioning long term. Now, if those first 4 costs caught you off guard, you need to stick around because some of them can get even more expensive as we move on the list. This is what I do. I live on an acreage and I help people buy acreages west of Calgary and make sure that they are well prepared for their acreage purchase so that they can enjoy that acreage lifestyle. I myself have lived that acreage lifestyle for over 6 years and know everything firsthand on what it's like to plan for these costs and to get surprised by some of them. So if you need help searching for your acreage, I'd love to help you out. Drop a comment below or shoot me an email and let's get connected and find you that perfect Alberta acreage. Number 5 is insurance premiums. Now, one thing new acreage buyers don't see coming is that insuring an acreage property costs a lot more than insuring a property in the city. Whether it be outbuildings or larger homes, those cost more to replace. The main driver is the distance that it's going to take for fire response to get to you. We have unmanned fire stations in a lot of places where it's volunteer firefighters, and they are tens of kilometers away at times. And that is a big liability to insurance companies, and they charge you a premium for it. On top of that, most acreage homes have a wood-burning fireplace. And while those wood-burning fireplaces give you that really nice feeling of that acreage home, chopping your own wood and living that rural lifestyle, they do come at a premium. especially the stereotypical wood stove that, everybody comes to look on as a cozy, comforting thing in your main living room. Those are a big fire risk, and insurance companies do charge you a pretty big premium if you have one in your home. Number 6 is the equipment you're going to need to maintain your acreage. And this is the one that I said was the big ticket item to watch for. It can be the most expensive, but it can also be the most fun if you're like me, whether it is log splitters, chainsaws, a better weed whipper because your one from the city isn't going to cut the acreage weeds, a ride-on tractor, an ATV to plow snow. All of these things can add up and they're quite expensive, and there are costs yearly to maintain them with oil changes, the fuel it takes to maintain those pieces of equipment in order to do your property maintenance. So while these are the most fun parts of acreage living, where you get to use these pieces of equipment, they do cost a lot of money, and it adds up quickly when you move out to an acreage for the first time and you realize you don't have any of it. And now you've got to go buy all of these implements that you need to maintain your property. And that can result in a bill of tens of thousands of dollars after you've closed. And that is a big one that you need to be prepared for when you buy your first acreage. Number 7 is the wear and tear on your vehicles and the excess costs that come with living rurally. Now, when you live in the city, your commute is going to be short and the amount you drive to your kids' activities is going to be short. So moving rurally, you're going to spend more time on the road, which means you're going to mile out your vehicles quicker. You're going to go through tires quicker because you're putting more kilometers on your vehicle, and you're going to spend more money in fuel. So more frequent oil changes and more frequent maintenance. And then the chance that your vehicle is going to have to be replaced at a much shorter interval than if you lived in the city is a huge cost, and again, one that you need to be prepared for. Number 8 is contractors and service charges. So anytime you're going to have a contractor or a service company come out, whether it be to maintain your furnace, pump your septic tank, or do a small home improvement project, these contractors are typically coming from further away, and they're going to be charging you a mileage rate to come out. And so every time you call a contractor, it is going to cost you more rurally than it will in the city due to the mileage and time it takes for them to come out and do that service call. Can be minor depending on how often you have to call these people, but it is a cost that you need to prepare for. Number 9 is gardening and homesteading. Now you've got your big piece of property and you're like, what do I do with it? Well, you're going to want maybe to grow your own food. You want to build a greenhouse. You want to put fencing up in order to keep some chickens or some small livestock in. All of those items, go figure, cost money to buy the materials and then time to build those items. And then every year you're amending your soil and ordering new seeds. And it is a cost to do those hobbies. I'll call them hobbies because you're likely not going to be able to grow enough food and stop going to the grocery store, but it is a good use of your land. And what makes acreage living enjoyable is to spend time in your garden and spend time in your yard. Just know that that is going to cost you money, and it's going to cost you money every year as garden beds deplete and soil needs to be amended. Finally, number 10 is just an emergency contingency fund. This is a recommendation to any property owner, but things happen. Acreages, you do have to maintain a few more building systems than you do in town, like your well, like your septic system. And so with that and all the costs I've talked about in the beginning of this video, it is super important that you then are prepared for those and save up a little bit of money for that contingency fund so that when those costs hit, it doesn't make you regret the acreage that you bought, because at the end of the day, you want to be happy with the home you buy and you want to be happy with the lifestyle you live, and planning ahead can help ease those costs when they do come up. So in summary, owning a small acreage near Calgary, Alberta is a super rewarding lifestyle. It's a fantastic place to raise your kids, and it gives you that space and that connection to nature that you just can't get in the city. If you found this video helpful and you are starting your search for your first acreage, or maybe upsizing your acreage to something a little bit bigger, and you have questions about the costs involved, the processes involved, and things to look out for when shopping for your acreage, I'd love to help you out with that search. You can connect with me. My email and my phone number is in the description below. If you like this video, please take the time, hit like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for more acreage content coming here in 2026. Until then, I will catch you in the next one.